What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe, joined by
Queen Tina.
And joined by the one EJS. That's a new name.
oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely check him out. Yeah, he done upgraded there, just like they do, just like they did in Power Rangers. They upgraded each season. Man.
Stronger than before.
Good old Zeo, yeah.
That's it.
And speaking of that, you see, I got green. I'm representing Tommy's Dragonzord there, like what we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
Good old Tommy, Jason David Frank.
Yes.
Promo, we said that Christina was representing Kimberly, but we watched a few we just finished. We watched a few episodes of Zeo recently. Mm-hmm. Not nothing against Kimberly. We still like Kimberly. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But we the Cat's kind of become a pretty good character though.
Mm-hmm.
So representing Cat, and then obviously she likes cats though.
Well, I represent Cat in the video, but it doesn't matter to me as long as I still remain the Pink Ranger. Kimberly or Cat, either one. I still be happy either one, as long as I still keep my position as Pink Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And of course, EJ representing TJ.
That's right.
Because he was the one that Tommy passed his powers to.
The Red Ranger. Of course, his first term as Red Ranger, Tommy's first term as Red Ranger was Zeo Red, Zeo Ranger 5 Red.
Oh yes.
And then he became Turbo Red, which then he transferred his powers to the first black leader of the Power Rangers, TJ.
Yeah.
You see I'm rocking the bald head and all. Shout out to all the low cut brothers out there.
And apparently I got bald head to do the buddy cuts. I couldn't get the hair.
Yes.
Hey, well, that's it. Look, same with me. So I said, we're gonna rock TJ.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we go into this, make sure y'all definitely like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Definitely subscribe so y'all be notified when these videos come out.
Yep.
Get our available books, and also support us on that Patreon. Definitely for more videos like this. Just like EJ the Supreme does. Say Big Sis Casey and the Iceman Universe. Go.
Oh yeah.
And definitely hang out with us on Discord, Facebook. Yeah, like hey, I like this in Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And you can also sell each other some stuff on them to carry out, get y'all a little extra cash. Yeah.
Hey, that's it.
So
All fans of the Power Rangers of every season are welcome. All the fans of every Power Ranger season they saw.
oh
That's
yes,
right, that's
yeah,
right.
we do. Yeah, 'cause each one is worthy of the power.
That's right.
Yes.
There's a good in all of them.
Oh yes.
If you've been in the morphing grid, you're worthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive right into it. There, even got a little Pizza Hut from Ernie.
That's right.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Ernie gave us
Yeah.
pizza from heaven.
Hey, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Heavenly pizza. Let's see.
Huh.
Should we tell the audience what kind of pizzas we have, just
Yes.
out of curiosity?
Well, I got pepperoni since my favorite color. Not my favorite color, but my favorite pizza topping is always pepperoni. From the time I grew up and stuff. Pizza growing up with.
All right.
Yes.
And he's also
Also have the pepperoni on my end, so Red Ranger pepperoni.
And I'm kind of the oddball out with the cheese there.
Yeah. I go either way with either pepperoni or just plain cheese.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
we all rocking some Powerade.
Yes.
Power Rangers, Powerade.
Powerade. Power.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they should have done a promo with Powerade, Power Rangers.
I was
Yeah.
surprised they never did that, but then again, you never know. They might try something new.
Would be nice if they have a black colored Powerade. But
you know
they
what?
don't.
You know what I used to with. I tell you something. I used to get because I've been getting other juices lately. But when I was getting Powerade a lot,
Yeah.
I used to would go get red. They had yellow, pink, blue,
You get the whole Power Ranger color spectrum.
and what I did for the black, I got grape.
Yep.
That was the darkest to the black.
That was dark. And usually when you watch Power Rangers, if you see like a morphin sequence or like back in the day where I think they tried to do it whenever they transferred or flew or anything where the powers kind of
And the,
go out like so like for instance, say the Red Ranger's throwing out fire, Blue Ranger's throwing out water. The Black Ranger would throw out something in a purple like background.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like a black or gray.
and I think a lot of that was like color palette things. It's sort of like sort of like when I used to use colored pencils, and even with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Any of y'all that's ever used Photoshop, you ever notice when you try to color something black, if you're not careful, like say if it's black on black, it'd be hard to change. Like, oh, I don't want to get that, and then you have to restart the picture. That's kind of why there.
Oh yeah.
So, first topic, Tommy and Power Rangers. Starting, of course, with Mighty Morphin.
I know his first introduction was the Green Ranger saga, way back in either 1993 or 1994.
I think 1993, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was kind of late in, just about a couple years late into it. I heard about it. I think they was like about to enter third season in the movie by the time I got into it.
Yeah.
It was it's probably it's definitely like 93 because I was born. I'm telling my age now. Born July 1993, and I always tell people I made sure I was out of the womb for the first episode of Power Rangers, which was August 1993. Even though I wasn't watching, like Gabe, I backtracked. I started watching. I was already a fan of Power Rangers, vaguely just from the movie.
Oh yeah.
I watched the movie, then I backtracked and watched the show. But the first time I really started watching weekly was Lost Galaxy, which is 1999. But
that's kind of. Yeah, and I think kind of reminded me of when I first saw Avengers and had to backtrack phase 1.
Backtrack phase 1, but yeah, Tommy made a very strong debut. Many people have created memes or skits or TikToks, YouTubes, or anything like of that nature. Watching Tommy the Green Ranger absolutely destroy the Power Rangers in their own Megazord cockpit. I mean that punch to Trini, knocking her all the way to the ground, and then threw all of them out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they was.
It's almost like they've been kicked out of their own house, except they've been kicked out of their own Megazord.
Exactly.
And it kind of it's sort of kind of a head. I mean, in Power Rangers, because they're all robots. That's. But in Sentai, Super Sentai, it's kind of head scratching because they're still robots, but they refer to them as like gods or something like that. Daijujins.
Daijujins,
right? Beast, yeah. So it's like, you practically just jumped up in the head of a robo god and knocked him out.
Knocked him out. I think another word, correct me if I'm wrong, shout out to all the Super Sentai fans, Mecha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just for him to make such a strong debut, he came in. When you watch the story, he came in. You don't know where he really was. You didn't know his stance until you see that Rita had sent him or used her powers to control him to do her bidding.
Right.
And it's just the irony. He started off as really one of the biggest bad guys. Like his villainous reign as the Green Ranger paved the way for the later on Psycho Rangers that would come along, or
Titanium Ranger.
Titanium Ranger, or Magna Defender, who was more of a loner. Not a bad guy and a good guy, but more of a loner, or even the Crimson Navy Ranger in Ninja Storm. They start off as a villain.
Oh yeah, the Thunder Rangers. That's right.
Thunder Rangers. So he paved the way for a lot of the villainous Rangers turn good, or just villainous Rangers in general. But who would have thought that he would be the poster boy, poster man, the face, the true face of just the Power Rangers franchise?
He's almost like the icon of the Power Ranger, Tommy himself, the icon.
Like the Hulk Hogan, the Power Rangers, the Stone Cold, the Power. Like when you think of Power Rangers, he's probably the first actor, first character.
Because he's after that first season, he donned so many colors there.
That's right.
And I think they kind of, from what I observed, like when he first became the Green Ranger and he joined up with them, due to the Sentai footage, because the original Green Ranger died in the Sentai, so they made it where he was losing his powers due to the Green Candle.
Right.
And Jason, got that brief power up with the shield that he had. But then when they ordered extra episodes of Power Rangers after Doomsday for extra they call it ZooTube footage. Well, in that footage they brought Tommy back. So that carried over into when they finally went to season 2, still using ZooTube footage, but they said, okay, we're keeping these suits, but we're gonna just say they got an upgrade on their Zords. That's how we got the Thunder Zords, and Tommy's Dragozoid stayed around for a while. Zed was like, I'm taking those powers, zap. And then I present to you the White Ranger. Oh, as Linkara said, he came down like an angel from on high.
Yeah, which was an original character from Die Ranger. But in Die Ranger, the White Ranger was a kid.
And then there's a big debate to this day
Yeah.
on who's the true leader of the Power Rangers.
Oh yes, that's
Because you have Austin St. John, who was Jason, and then Tommy, who then it was just, okay, Jason, you're going to be the second in command. Tommy's the lead. And not too long after that, you see it was the transference. Jason left, Rocky came in.
right. Him and Tim, Trini, and Zach. And of course, there's more to that, but y'all can look that up.
Yeah,
We can hear all day.
Isn't trying to explain that? Of course, John Young Bosch and Karen Ashton, but Adam and Aisha. But anyways, back to just the conflict between the two leaders. Not necessarily conflict, but the debate in the fan base. It's as a Power Rangers fan, that was kind of a peculiar time because you're like, ooh, okay, they've always had a rivalry. Tommy and Jason have always had this back and forth. Who's truly like the leader, the true leader of the franchise?
Right.
So the transference power was convenient at that particular time because now Tommy was the undisputed at that season. There was no debating who was the leader of the team, which leads to him being the White Ranger.
Well, given the choice between the two leaders, between Jason and Tommy, well, Tommy's the best leader because he provides not just good teamwork for the team, but also he dons like every Power Ranger season with different suits.
And in a way, he kind of, due to the writing and everything, he did sort of earn his way into that because he did. Yeah, he started off kind of just, he was there support. Yeah. But he sort of earned his way, and I tell you another thing, another little fact. Some of y'all might know about this as watching, but some of y'all might not know.
Yeah.
When he said, "Are you pleased with the new leader of the Power Rangers?" That actually was not in the original cut. That was the original. They didn't really say anything about the leader. He's the White Ranger. This is great. But when they went back to edit, when they were editing and stuff like that, they dubbed that line for Zordon in.
Yeah.
And that's why it looked that if you some of y'all that be like combing with a fine tooth comb on the episode when y'all look at them, you might think like it look kind of odd that Jason's just this is great. See, that's because it wasn't originally there. So Jason probably looked back at that like, wait, when did they put this in?
I didn't know that did happen. I know that.
Right, and see, then after White Light, just like we say, the transfer of the actors and stuff, Jason, Trini, and Zach, they started to show up. They didn't just leave immediately right away, but there was a point in time where they were showing up for, Unmorph. Like, they were still there in person. Yeah. Then, eventually, if you listen to certain episodes after White Light really closely, you'll notice their voices when they're morphed sound like when Jason fought the lipstick monster. Yeah. But, oh no! Sound kind of off.
Yeah. Something's not right.
Right, and then they eventually started using stock footage of the three and body doubles.
That's a Hollywood trick right there. Like, say if an actor's injured or contractually something goes wrong, that's not the first time that's happened in Power Rangers. Well, that wouldn't be the last time that happened in Power Rangers. Lost Galaxy would go through a similar with Kendricks, as well as I believe Galaxy and Lightspeed Rescue. When they had a little reunion, there was a vocal change in Leo.
Oh, really?
I think if you notice from the season Lost Galaxy to Lightspeed Rescue, there was a vocal change. So that's just another situation. I'm trying to think. There was any other time. I believe even did Turbo have something similar when the closer towards the transference of power?
I think now
I don't
was
remember
Mighty.
much of the episodes.
Well, I think now with Mighty Morphin now, that's probably where you notice more of them trying to cover stuff
The
up.
most, because it was the most continuity.
Right, but when it got to, okay, like say when they transferred Kimberly, they actually, you know, like a person turning their resume in, like, okay, on this date I'm gonna leave. So so it was more professionally done where they could actually write her out. And in Turbo, they did kind of the same thing because Tommy wanted to go on to some bigger project, him and I think another actor. So they just came up with the idea, okay, we're gonna white everybody except Justin out.
Yes.
And that's
And passing the torch.
right, and so that way you got to see you didn't have to worry about no body doubles. You got Tommy and everybody was there to meet TJ and the others. So I think that, but the Mighty Morphin one, they was probably and I don't blame Saban because I know he was just starting out too, but you know you're trying to work around actors that are switching in and out, and then plus it was non-union too, so probably a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes. So.
Yeah, I know they're working really long hours and little pay, little to no pay at times. Make that just little pay, not much that they were expecting.
And also the movie, I think the movie was also one of the biggest things because movie and something else that I actually noticed from watching season 2. Since they had original footage, because they didn't use the Die Ranger suits, so a lot of like the putty fights and before they got only the Zord stuff was Sentai. That means Jason and all of them were exposed to a lot of like sparks and stuff like that, and like the Megazord cockpit shot. There was a lot of they'd be almost about to fall on each other, and a little spark. Kimberly, I've heard from her, and I think another actor that there was some time they actually not major, but sometimes got little minor injuries. In some of those.
She was, I believe, Amy Jo Johnson said she was electrocuted.
Ooh.
Yeah, she actually.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, she's like she was electrocuted on a set because it was not the most protected set. I don't know if that was in the movie or the TV show, but it was one of those where she had gotten injured from that, and then not too long after there was the transference of power. She got kidnapped, and then Cat came to the scene.
So okay.
That's one of the sources I heard.
I think the actors are off screen. They fighting for a union because of the stunts they are doing.
Right. Yes, that is
They're
exactly.
fighting for a union, but they still didn't get it.
They still didn't get it, and then even like to this day, you like one of the things I'm gonna.
I don't know if they're gonna have. I don't know if they still do a union today or not for the current seasons.
For the current seasons, that I do not know.
Yeah, that's in question.
I will say from a particular Power Ranger actor that I met, and of course it wasn't Jason David Frank, but they stated that they were not paying them union fees or residuals or something where they could grow their income, and so that's why certain Power Ranger actors did not make a return.
Yeah.
Right, and some of them still stayed on for a while, like
so,
Billy, Kimberly, and Tommy.
And Adam, after a while, it stayed on for a good bit. That was second season, but the longest tenured Mighty Morphin was Billy and Kimberly.
Right.
And J.J. Frank too.
Yeah, Jason David Frank, because because of the first season. But yeah, and speaking of the, if you don't mind me showing it, because we're talking about season 2, the epic Mighty Morphin, if the camera can see it, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 1995, when Jason David Frank was the official leader of the Power Rangers, and he was the White Ranger. So, him being the
Leading them against Avenue.
Ivan Ooze.
I don't think I saw the movie in the theaters because I'm not too much of a Power Ranger fan. I only saw a few episodes. But I did remember I may have saw it on the television when it was shown on TV.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I first saw it, it was, let I'm sure my generation, me and Gabe's generation, our generation, we know HBO.
Yes.
When it was on regular, TV. In Shreveport, it was on Channel 5, HBO.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I remember watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the first time, and I was so crazed about it. Anytime I went to Blockbuster, I'm like, Mama, can we please go to the Power Ranger section, the kids section of Blockbuster, so I can check out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the next movie after this one once we get to more like past Zeo.
Yeah, the kids section of not only Blockbuster, but a lot like Blockbuster, Walmart. That was
Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
That was haven for us growing up.
Toys R Us.
Oh boy.
KB Toys.
Yeah.
I stayed in those places.
Like you want to stay there for an eternity.
Yes, and anytime I go to Walmart now, I still go to the toy section.
Me too. I thought I was the only one. Sometimes I'm just a little nosy. I'm like, let's see what these kids playing with nowadays.
Yes.
And I'm like, I look now and I'm like, oh, y'all just don't know how good we had it as kids, because all of us are millennials right here. We were the generation, because Gen X, they always talk about things of their generation. Boomers talk about their generation. Gen Z is currently like the trending generation. But us millennials, we're truly the generation of having the old school and the new school.
And missile launchers, electronic.
And there's a lot of electronic.
Yeah, the best of both worlds.
We had the best of both worlds. We knew what the world was like before social media and the internet really took over. We were born when it was starting, but it wasn't like we all had a phone in our hand at the age of 1 or 2 or 3. No, it was like we had been in middle school or high school when we really started touching technology on a full-time basis. But when we were growing up, we were the last generation to watch Looney Tunes and the first one to watch SpongeBob.
Oh yes.
We knew about Power Rangers and Voltron.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was going in my closet thinking I was going to one of them lines in Voltron.
Exactly. So we know about both. So because Cartoon Network is a huge factor in that, because a lot of Gen X cartoons and a lot of Boomer cartoons were still being played in reruns in the 90s on Cartoon Network. And when you have Fox Kids that shows not only Power Rangers live action, you've seen a lot of animated stories that's a lot darker.
Oh yeah.
So we were in that fine middle section of storytelling and creativity. So in the realm of Power Rangers, especially when you think about what was the destruction of the Megazords.
Yeah, season 2.
Yeah, season 2. Like,
oh my goodness.
It's almost like they had an Oscar moment with the reactions.
All them wires and stuff.
Yes.
Like,
every Power Ranger season, but there's going to be those moments, whether it's Mighty Morphin. I think probably some of the most intense moments in Power Rangers: Mighty Morphin, Space. Later Turbo. Last couple episodes.
the
Turbo.
Turbo.
Destruction of Turbo. Space, the entire season of Space, or at least in brief periods. The Cycle Ranger episodes, the finale, Lost Galaxy, the 10th Power, Cycle Pink coming back, and then finale. Specs and Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, Special Time Force. When you see those dark moments, like Mighty Morphin, usually season 1 usually was the lightest.
Because they were just starting.
They were just starting, but Tommy, going back to him, ushered in one of those darker moments when he came into that Megazord. And dare, of course it was Super Sentai footage, but when that Green Ranger came into that Megazord and dare say, I'm gonna jack you out your own Zord and just mollywop you, hand-to-hand combat by myself, five versus one, and that one being Green won.
And they even that fight between him and Jason. Jason was unmorphed.
Yeah,
that was a reference to Sentai of Burai and Geki going at it.
Going at it.
Since they were both brothers in the sense.
Yeah, and then not only that, it was kind of the season before in Sentai kind of paved the way for that, as the leader kind of bucking, or no, one of the members of the team bucking with the leader, Jetman. That was just
I've heard of that.
So seeing the following year, Red and Green get into this warfare, it's kind of like the writer said, let's kind of try this again, but instead of within the top 5 members, let's do that 6 Ranger and do that same thing again. And so Tommy and Jason are doing the exact same.
Yes.
Be butting heads there.
Oh, yeah, like true rivals.
True rivals. It was 2 egos, and those egos would last for.
Jason definitely. I'm not saying Jason was a bad person, but he did have the ego. Funny. Since we mentioned Jason, funny clip.
Yeah.
Bulk was trying to show off that he could do ballet.
Yeah.
And I think he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Probably for his character, he may have done it on purpose and for real.
Yeah.
Knocked the chair that Jason was sitting on, and Jason got
Like, I'm gonna fight you.
yeah, Zach had to quickly pull him back.
Hold him back. I know he did. And if you don't mind me showing, since we're talking about season 2 and season 3, the Mighty Morphin White. I'm bringing one of my favorite pieces of collection. Mighty Morphin White Ranger.
Oh, he was stop.
If you still keep those in their box, they might be worth a lot of money.
No, good. I keep them. I keep them. I'll take them out very, very rarely, just the articulation. If I'm just in that, I want to go back to the '90s big kid mood.
Yeah, it's having some nostalgia in you.
Just have some nostalgia.
Just like with my Transformers, I do that.
Oh, well, I'm like that, man. And I'm the type of person. And not only do I like name brand Power Rangers, I'm feeling really show not a weird side, but really show something peculiar. I like bootleg Rangers too, because that give me the opportunity to create my own original fictional.
Oh, kind of have like an alternate universe.
My own team. So if I,
it'd be a good way to use the bootleg Rangers for.
Evil Rangers
that Zed created.
That's
yes.
exactly.
I admit, when I first saw Lord Zed's version of his Power Rangers as a kid, I was a little terrified. But when I look back as an adult, I just laugh at it because their costumes look so cheap, like they bought it at the dollar store.
See,
I just laughed so hard.
And the funny thing is, Zed's version of Evil Rangers. Okay, that's the wrong way to do it as far as aesthetic and look and style. Psycho Rangers in '98
was the best way to do it.
That was the way to do it.
They were kind of monsters and everything.
You take the Power Rangers original look, but you can only tell by the chest plate. Okay, something's off about these Rangers. And then when they go into their form, they got two different forms. Their Ranger form.
And yes, they did do that.
And that beastly monster, like demon form.
Ooh.
So in each one, I believe Red Ranger was more like flame, Black Ranger was rock, Blue Ranger was water and ice, Yellow Ranger was like a beetle, insectoid, and Pink Ranger was like fertility, plants, poison ivy.
Oh.
So which was very, very good. And I wish they would do that again with Power Rangers. And I have to bring it back to Jason David Frank, Tommy. Once again, that evil Green Ranger set the tone. When you have an evil Ranger,
yes,
it's supposed to be the matching of the good Rangers.
Right.
In every way, it's supposed to be superior. This is how you get that good dynamic of storytelling. And I would say I fought the past 20 years of Power. I'm not gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 15 because SPD did it right, because they had the A team was it was quote unquote sinister, or at least not a good guy. Not having another set of villains of bad guys.
Oh, the Ace, was it the Ace?
Ace Squad.
That's right.
Which is 20-year anniversary, 2025.
And they weren't even under a spell or nothing.
They weren't under a spell. They just their own conscious. We're going to do this. Which I blame the Power Rangers franchise for not having another team of evil Rangers
that just chose to be.
That chose. Now that's where they weren't created. They weren't possessed. They say we make this decision to do this, that, and the third. So,
let's just say Lord Zed's version of his Evil Rangers, they didn't do much. They didn't do too much. They were just standing there. I was expecting them to do something like destroy the good Rangers, but they didn't do nothing.
They didn't do, and it was that's one of those last minute. Let's try to find something to keep the storyline going.
I think,
kind of thing.
And you know that kind of makes in universe that kind of makes Lord Zed look bad in comparison to Rita, because he's like, Rita, you failed me, stuff like that. This was something I thought of when I saw them come out. I was like,
yeah,
okay, Lord Zed. You were upset with Rita, but Rita, she didn't just do it once. Besides Tommy, 2 times she created an evil set of Rangers. 2 times, perfect set of Rangers compared to what you got,
and almost just took them out completely. So it's like the OG is always usually the most dangerous one, and I'll say it like this here: Rita doesn't really get the credit she deserves on just how sinister she truly can be.
She was, because and then when she married Lord Zed, they actually were more formidable together.
They were more formidable together.
And more stronger together.
They were.
Because they even managed to destroy the power coins in the Alien Ranger saga.
Exactly. Which of course that was another Super Sentai. That was
Kaku Ranger. Which they have some legacy figures, not lightning figures, but lightning figures of the Kaku Ranger or Alien Rangers. But
let's talk about this one storyline with Tommy's character
Yeah.
in the Alien Ranger series when they were kids. You know that now going from adults and then they were
Kids.
for that little bit of time, and then after that they transfer. What how the storyline went? Zeo, of course,
Zeo
they go
crystals.
they get to Zeo crystals, and then the color transfer and the power transfer.
He became Zeo Red.
Zeo Red, which you want to go ahead and.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a good. I was trying to make a good smooth transition of it, but I said, "Oh well, let's just go
Yes.
wing it to Zeo Red, Zeo Ranger 5 Red, which I'm rocking the colors proudly. The Zeo Ranger 5 Red.
Red.
Ranger.
And he's the main star, and how ironic he has a star.
He has a star.
And I think one thing you pointed out when the first few Zeo episodes you watched, 'cause I didn't even think about this.
Yeah, and the shape
shapes.
represents the angles of each shape. Like Zeo Ranger 1 represents the circle 1. Zeo Ranger 2 represents the equals, like two equal signs. Zeo Ranger 3 is the triangle, three angles in the triangle. Zeo Ranger 4, the square, 4 angles of the square. And Zeo Ranger 5, the star, 5 angles of the star, geometric shape.
And then,
Yeah.
also what I found out watching O Ranger, which is the Super Sentai equivalent, the Zeo Ranger theme is actually an Egyptian theme.
Oh yeah, because you even look like the Zeo Megazord.
So you look at the
Yeah.
Zeo Megazord. So it was when you really look at it, because when I was a kid, I was like, why do they, in the traditional Power Ranger dynamic, usually the Red Ranger is one. Like, like if you look at the later seasons, Red Ranger 1, Red Ranger 1, Blue
Why they
Ranger.
started with one pink. Then.
Yeah. So Red Ranger 1, Blue Ranger 2, Green Ranger or Black Ranger 3, Yellow Ranger 4, Pink Ranger 5. So to number spectrum wise and color spectrum wise, to start with the Pink Ranger as 5 and count down to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, that was a lot different. And then what you just mentioned about the different angles and different points, I never really even thought about that. I'm like, oh, that's why they were giving those numbers, because
I just figured it out.
But no, that makes a lot of sense, and I don't think that's the last time they did that. I believe other Ranger series kind of, if you look at the helmets, they might
Right,
be
and then like
aligned.
SPD, now they went 1, 2,
2,
3.
3. And now I don't know if Wild Force did that. They had the sash on their costume, and then one. I don't know, the White Ranger didn't have a line, but then the Red Ranger had 3. Some had different like line.
I'm gonna have to look up that one now.
When you look at Power Rangers for a while, you see a particular formula. So number spectrum, element spectrum, like red usually is fire, Blue Ranger is usually water, Green Ranger is usually plants or fertile ground, Yellow Ranger lightning, Pink Ranger fertility, flower, something like. It's always like a particular spectrum.
Color there.
So Zeo definitely was one of those first seasons, especially with the Red Ranger, where they're showing different elements or styles, or if you really pay attention, oh, this is why the 5 points. That's why maybe
The geometric.
geometric style.
Geometry.
Geometry, yeah, exactly. So, and
Guess it's true what they say. Stay in school.
stay in school. I mean, you learn a lot.
You
But
got your education's even in your entertainment.
that's right. That's
I
right.
didn't think nothing of it when I saw a few episodes of Seal as a kid. I didn't know about the shapes and the angles and stuff.
But that's
Yeah, the numbers.
But that was something that came to you when we were rewatching it there.
yeah.
Yes. I just put 2 and 2 together.
But it makes a lot of sense though. And then not only that, this was the first season where now Tommy is solely
The leader.
the leader. Like if anything, I think this is where the sweet spot of Power Ranger fans post Mighty Morphin. Like there was the Mighty Morphin trend where Power Rangers everywhere, buy the Power Ranger toys. But then once the transfer of power happened, there was a drop off. When Kimberly left, Kat came in, another drop off. You got some people who are Mighty Morphin diehards, like in particularly Mighty Morphin season 1 diehards.
Especially a lot of people that had a crush on Kimberly.
On Kimberly, and it's kind of if you didn't continue to watch Power Rangers afterwards, you really lost a lot of great storytelling.
And I think, and I know a lot of them dropped off in Turbo, and then came back for Space.
Space, yep. You want me to?
I admit, when I was a kid, when I saw a few Power Rangers episodes, I had a little bit of a crush on Bill, just a little bit. I admit to that.
Well, Billy kind of got that school teacher crush that a lot
And I
of
didn't
students
know,
do.
and I don't know why I had a little bit of a crush on him as a kid. I didn't know.
I think that maybe that might explain something in your Bubblina comic. You made one of your teachers in your comic look like Billy.
No.
Well, similar to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say this: when I was a kid, I always had a crush on all the girls in Power Rangers, but I felt okay with Tommy. And I actually, when we really started talking about Turbo, I know we got a little bit more with Zeo. But when we started talking about Turbo, I actually met one of the cast members, female cast member, which I'll reveal after this. We talked about Tommy having the love affairs, his character having romances, Kimberly and Kat. So I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, okay, well, if he got Kimberly and Kat, then Aisha and Tanya, my girl. Like the Yellow Ranger, they always walk.
You know somebody on YouTube that has a real big crush on Tanya?
Who is it?
Andre the Black Nerd.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Wow.
I've seen that.
One kind of matter of fact, someone I used to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one reason they started talking to me once, they thought I was the Black Nerd. They thought they had me mixed up with Andre.
Tell them, look, that's giving freshman. There's only one. There's only one King game.
Just like there's only one Blade.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But Zeo and Tommy's run as the Red Ranger and Zeo, I say some of my favorite episodes is Tommy as the Red Ranger. I can't think of the name of the episode, but he was in this Coliseum.
Oh, Zeo was in Zeo.
He was in Zeo.
Zeo, yeah.
And so he was in this Coliseum scene, and he was possessed, like he was trying to get into control, and then Kat goes up to him and Kat helps get him out of it. And that's probably one of my favorite episodes because it was pretty adventurous episode. That when the Super Zeo Megazord, which I have, I could have brought that too. And that Megazord, oh my goodness, the complexity of getting that together. And I say probably another favorite episode, comedically, in Zeo. Okay, I don't know if y'all remember. There was a character or villain that made the Rangers sing.
I think it was two of them too. Mm-hmm. Third season Mighty Morphin Discordia. I think she. Well, no. I take that back. I think she just had them dancing. Zeo. I can't think of the month's name, but it was somebody had Tanya and Tommy singing.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That sounds like a Power Ranger opera.
A Power Ranger opera.
You just have to fight.
and so, bless Tanya Hart. She was always on tune, but when it got to Tommy,
it's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time.
It was humorous. Him trying to sing opera.
It was funny. It was cringy. It was funny. I said, "Oh Lord, I know they had fun in that episode." So those would be my favorite Zeo episodes. But I know if you want to transfer to it, I was.
Oh yeah.
And so of course after Zeo is the legendary Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, I remember when that movie first came out, and my mom took me to see it and everything. I remember several times after seeing the movie, I'd be riding my bike up and down the street, pretending like I was saying "Shipping to Turbo."
Shipping to Turbo. Now, so what you think, Jay, about
the Turbo season?
Turbo season.
I think it's kind of and I kind of have to pull a card from Zeo just a little bit, but Zeo transitioning to Turbo. Just from what I'm seeing in Zeo so far and what's gonna come. I think this is sort of like them growing up. They're like, at least Tommy, Kat, Tanya, and Rocky and Adam. Yeah. It's like them growing up. Now they actually graduated right after the Turbo movie.
Yes, sure did.
But it almost felt like they were. But you look at some of the episodes of Zeo, it's almost like they in college already. Because of the way the characters act and some of their maturity.
That's right.
And that's one reason why. I didn't think this at first, but this is why recently. I don't have nothing against Kimberly, but why I'm kind of liking Kat more there because the way little something to share. I sort of look at the way, I don't know if this is what they had in mind, but from my opinion, I think Kimberly is like the high school sweetheart, and one thing one of my college teachers told me. Never marry your high school sweetheart. So now some people have, but in most cases, he say don't marry your high school. This comparing to me, this probably gonna sound a little weird, but we're talking about Power Rangers anyway. I declare my high school sweetheart being Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh, and so that would be my Kimberly. This would be my cat right here.
Well, speaking of that, I'm gonna add on to that. So the actress I was talking about, Catherine Sutherland, met her at GeekCon.
Oh, really?
Years ago. Met her as she autographed this VHS for me. And we talked about that. We talked about, Tommy always had the girl. He always had the Pink Ranger, whether it was Kimberly
or Cat.
Or Cat. Which, when I look at it now, I did like Tommy and Cat more, and it was like the first love type of relationship. But with Tommy and Kimberly.
Okay.
Yeah, Tommy and Kimberly was the first love relationship. But yeah, with Tommy and Cat, I think about and I'm going back to Zeo myself, the snow episode.
Oh yeah, they would.
I remember the snow episode.
It was like they were skiing, and then
the dear. It's the episode where they had the Dear John letter.
Oh,
they went skiing to cheer him up.
And then Cat made a dinner specifically for Tommy, and you kind of. And here's the funny thing too. Here's the irony of it, and why I would kind of agree that Tommy and Cat is better than Tommy and Kimberly. Both Tommy and Cat start off as evil, controlled by Rita.
Yeah, that's something.
So that could be one thing that made them relate.
And then to show you how to flip the tables, go to Turbo. You have Jason and Kimberly getting caught by Divatox. They turn evil, and then there's always been this kind of hint, Red Pink Ranger dynamic. They weren't in a relationship in season 1 of Power Rangers, but what y'all doing out in the ocean together?
Do you think maybe Jason could have been?
I kind of felt like later on, Jason and Kimberly.
Oh my!
Like they might be in a relationship themselves.
Like first season no, second season no. After Zeo and Turbo, once they grown a little older,
that could also explain why you remember the 2017 movie.
Yeah.
Why they sort of it looked like they were trying to put Jason and Kimberly together.
Jason and Kimberly. So that's another thing because you think about traditionally Power Ranger dynamic. There's if you know certain patterns in Power Rangers, and certain little quirks, stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times, if they do have a Power Ranger romance, they will put the leader with the Pink Ranger or even the most feminine Ranger. So it's like, for instance, Space.
Andros
and Ashley. So it wasn't red and pink, but red and yellow. But Ashley was more girly girl than Cassie.
Yeah.
So because it was kind of flipped the roles a little bit. But then in Lost Galaxy, they were teasing it, didn't go full on due to Kendricks, the actress.
Having
a leukemia. Leo and Kendricks. You see that in episode 1. She actually kind of covers for him a little bit. And down the line, Lightspeed Rescue, they say for fan folklore wise on one of the websites, Carter and Dana. I don't think there was ever any public display of it or strong sign of it, but you think about
they were trying to hint at
that. I can see it. Definitely Time Force, Wes and Jen.
Yes.
That was
because of her
previous relationship.
Okay, yeah, that one was really obvious there.
And then Wild Force, Red and White. You had Cole and Alyssa.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
And then after a while, they kind of broke away from that stereotype. I thought they were going to try to do that with SPD in one episode, the birthday episode.
Then they hooked them up with that girl that showed up in the last episode.
Last episode, yeah. So, but that's just one quirk going back to Tommy. Oh, here's another one.
Yes.
Tommy and Cat, the Christmas episode.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, the Christmas.
Of them being old together.
So I think if anything, yeah, I'm gonna put in the hat that Tommy and Cat were the true long-term. Do you think about it now? That episode confirms that they grow old together. They have a child together. And they have grandchildren together.
And you saw on the 25th anniversary they were together.
And
we assume that they got married off screen.
Exactly.
Little JJ.
That's it. So it's like, okay, more and more those the die-hard season 1 fans say Tommy and Kimberly forever. Tommy and Kimberly forever. I love Tommy and Kimberly too. I love that dynamic. But Tommy and Cat.
Yeah.
Long term. Cat, Kimberly, yes, she kissed him. Yeah, they had dates. But Cat cooked for him. I'm just saying.
And I had to, like I say, I was with the Tommy Kimberly group, and I kind of the transition.
When it's true that we've gotten older. When we were younger, oh no, not Kat and Tommy, no, Tommy and Kimberly. But when you get older, oh no.
Yeah, and I think that's like I mentioned before. You know, high school it was Taya, and then as an adult when I got to college, you're like, hi Christina.
you have your cat,
right?
So it's like, boom, it's the real.
It's sort of it does in a way it does kind of make. I mean, because it does happen in life. You know, there's some you hook up with, just so you're in high school, you hook up with somebody, you probably think that's gonna be the one for you. You're gonna grow up and get married right as soon as you get out of high school. Some people do marry their high school sweetheart, but a lot of times, most of the cases, you get out of high school, something happens, y'all end up maybe having to go different directions, colleges and stuff like that. And it's just like Kimberly did with your John. You're gonna spot somebody while you're away from.
That's right.
Because I mean you're not bound to your high school sweetheart.
Yeah, and as I stated, Turbo showed this. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Turbo showed it. You see now the original Red and Pink. How the turnabout is fair play. They weren't together in season 1, but best believe that dynamic as they got older. You know what? I wonder how Kimberly doing. I wonder how Jason doing. And then boom, boom, boom.
We say that. Yeah.
But anything about Turbo game?
Let's see. Well, I know Turbo. He was only in there kind of halfway, and then they did the power transfer, that was kind of him, like after the graduation, them trying to find themselves before the power transfer there, as far as like what they were going to be in life, and that probably explains. I know there was behind the scenes stuff, but that also explains story wise why. Hey, let's, you guys. Some people actually, not everybody, but some people were upset about that. Like, why can't we see them in adult life as Power Rangers? Sort of like what we would see later with Lightspeed and Time Force. But if you really think about the story of how that particular season was going, it still kind of makes sense. Because I mean, see with Lightspeed and Time Force, this is part of their job, being Power Rangers.
It's part of the job, and even
let me rephrase that. They're starting out as adults as the Power Rangers.
Right. It's space was still more hidden identity, but it's still our job, kind of espionage, kind of
to find order and stuff like that.
Lost Galaxy was more going into a whole nother world, whole nother universe. So as we're going to be protectors of this Terra Venture,
right?
The same Lightspeed Rescue is you're actually backed by a government operation. Time Force is really the same thing. Wild Force, now you're kind of like in the heavenlies.
In another animated, what they call like another land kind of.
Yeah.
Ninja Storm was a little bit, I wouldn't say freelance, but the same.
They had a secret academy,
a secret academy, a secret school. So it wasn't really until I wouldn't even say Ninja Storm. It wasn't really until Dino Thunder.
When Tommy came back.
When Tommy came back, and that's when they actually started going back to school. Look how that turned
around, and Tommy was their teacher, and also became a ranger.
Became a ranger, and then became the
Dino Thunder Black.
The Black Ranger.
And I'll tell you something also related to Tommy. There was when Wild Force was coming to an end, there was actually he was like, "What are we gonna do for the next season?" They wanted to do a Power Rangers Academy, like their own before Ninja Storm came. Their own academy were, I guess, kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX style almost, where they would have
was big at the time, so they were probably trying to bite off that.
Where they would have different, like Tommy and other veteran Rangers teaching, like young bucks and stuff like that. Didn't exactly get I guess because a lot at the time they couldn't fly out a lot. I guess the budget for flying out the other actors.
Yeah.
But Ninja Storm was an academy though.
It was a academy. They kept that going.
So, but when they got to Dino Thunder, like Tommy's like, "Hey, I'm available."
And that was with Dino Thunder. That was one of the main reasons why I watched Dino Thunder because
I did watch Ninja Storm because I tell you one reason I watched Ninja Storm because this is a little funny tidbit. I thought it was I did not think it was part of the main content. I thought it was a fan made from college students.
I'll tell you why I think you thought that. Because the color scheme was slightly different.
And the costume aesthetic.
The costume.
But I actually did, but I do like the costumes.
One of the best costumes in Power Rangers history, so much so, Family Dollar, I'm probably one of the few that truly remember it. Family Dollar years ago, 15-something years ago, because I got it for Christmas. I got it twice. I ended up buying it for myself, and then I ended up getting it for family. Somebody got it for me again for Christmas. Had a rip-off Ninja Storm Power Rangers pack, 6-pack.
Oh, really?
Red, blue, yellow. So the Ninja Storm colors, the original 3, and then they had crimson, navy, and then they had a pink.
Really?
They had a pink. So it was bootleg, but it was supposed to be a Space Force Team Rangers. But they actually just took the Ninja Storm aesthetic. They took the Ninja Storm head and the Power Rangers in space body.
Okay.
And blended it in.
That kind of created, because I mean,
it's like they created their own new team.
They created their own new team, and I had so much fun with those. But as far as Dino Thunder, my favorite episodes, the flashbacks of going through
when they went through Tommy's life,
through Tommy's life, and then probably the first set of episodes. I remember he got kidnapped or something, and I think this led to him getting the power.
Right, the Black Ranger power, and. Speaking of that legacy of that flashback episode, y'all might be like, "What in the world?" But I honestly, because I mean, I seen For Her Red, but I didn't see it when it first came out. I had to go back and see it.
I remember.
So when I saw that was my first time seeing Tommy with that haircut, and I kept thinking like, this guy looked kind of familiar there, and this is something familiar about this guy. And suddenly, when the trailers like, and all new Power Rangers Dino Thunder, what you're about to see is a history of my life. More dinosaur bones. My history of my life is a power. Wait, what? And then when I saw Green Ranger, like, Tommy!
Yeah, that's it.
Like the hint is just right up in your face.
Yeah, I was like, he's talking. Because I even had there's even a VHS where I was actually recording the Digimon episode, but they advertised that episode.
Yeah.
And you hear me behind the camera saying, Tommy.
I know all the fans were glad to see him back.
Yeah. And then not only that, it was there was a different tone, and then his color changed. So he goes from the Green Ranger to the White Ranger to two Red Rangers to now the Black
Ranger.
The Black Ranger. So in which usually they say in the color spectrum, black also means authority because he is mentoring.
Oh yes.
If he was able to clone himself, he would have his own Ranger team. If he was able to clone himself,
he could truly, because you think about green, white, 2 reds, black, and then he could also have the 6th Ranger, which is the villain, Lord Draken.
Oh yes, yeah. I think it was supposed to be like a movie or something on that.
It's supposed to be like a movie. I haven't seen it yet, but he's really the most tenured Ranger in the entire franchise. I mean, he could be a team all by himself.
And and speaking of all them forms, that's why he got the Master Morpher in the 25th anniversary.
Right, he transformed any Ranger he became.
That's right.
I bet everybody wished to have the Master Morpher. If I had the Master Morpher, I would transform to all the Pink Rangers from every different season.
Oh man.
Yeah.
If I had a Master Morpher, I would definitely be a lot of 6 Rangers. Magna Defender from Lost Galaxy would definitely be one.
Oh yeah.
Titanium from Lightspeed. Zeo Gold.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned Gold with the gold staff.
Gold staff, and which once again, how turnabout's fair play going back to Zeo. Jason becomes the 6th Ranger, while Tommy becomes the Ranger. Once again, it's like that
role reversal.
Role reversal. And then of course, Master Morph. I definitely would be some Red Rangers. I'd definitely be either Time Force Red or I'd be just Mighty Morphin Red. Zeo, just any.
And and going back with Dino Thunder, there's some stuff about that I didn't even know, but I found out. You remember what's his name, Zeldrax?
Mm-hmm.
Zeldrax, like they say, like Tommy called him Smitty in one episode. Originally, but they weren't able to go through it because they couldn't fly him out.
Yeah.
Originally, it was supposed to be Billy. as Zeldrax for some reason. And which I don't know what the story was going to be about, but when they mentioned Billy, like I say, still cool that Tommy, coming back as black and everything, but the fact that they have him as a college professor, I kind of thought like, wait, wouldn't this be something that Billy would grow up to be?
As a college professor.
High school. Science high school teacher.
And that's the thing. What we've seen with Mighty Morphin, Tommy becoming college professor. Of course, they have the Master Morpher. I haven't seen this movie yet. The last Power Ranger movie they had, the Power Rangers.
Okay, no, it's not Turbo.
Not Turbo. It was like one they just did. It wasn't even in theaters.
It wasn't in theaters at first. I thought you meant like the Power Ranger rebooted movie back in 2017.
Yeah, which.
But you say it wasn't in theaters?
It was like Netflix. It was a Power.
Oh, you talking about the 30th anniversary?
Yeah. It was a Power Rangers.
Once and Always.
I think Once and Always. Power Rangers Once and Always. You see that I believe I saw a screenshot where Aisha and Adam are part of SPD.
Oh yeah.
Like you start seeing like their careers progressing.
They were trying to hint at SPD because it's coming up.
Coming up, and then of course Billy. You see him in Zeo. And he's going to be like more of an advisor type of role. So you see how the Power Rangers, grow and
he got his own company in that.
In that, exactly.
So they pretty much made him Tony Stark.
Basically. So going back to Jason David Frank, I don't believe there was anything after him being a college or high school professor that they really just dug into, except he just started.
Except the anniversary special.
Exactly.
Megaforce and then also Super Ninja Steel.
Unless the comic, anybody that's into the comics, I might know further.
Well, okay, that's pretty. Because I know this was pretty much the meat of it. But two other topics on Jason Frank. Us meeting up with him. Huh?
I'm the only one that did not have a time. I'm mad, but I was busy. He liked one of the posts that I had in a comment, and so I was so glad that he saw who I was.
So you actually got to get him online.
Get him online. That was the only interaction. I was planning on going to the comic book convention in Bossier City when he was there. So I saw him in person, but it was like in the middle of a big intermission. I was performing in 2 theater shows, and so the line was so long. I knew I would not have a chance to actually meet him. I'm like, oh God, I see the man in the flesh. I want to take a picture with him, give him an autograph, and VHS play.
Let's just say a lot of people were down there that day. It was so many that they had to call the fire department because it was overpopulated.
Yeah, because they were out.
And the city center carries so much people at a time.
Exactly. So
it's not big enough for everyone.
Exactly. But you know what? That's cool. He did like one of my posts and comments, so I'm like, hey. He will always be one of my favorite Rangers. I know y'all had the pleasure of meeting him. So
yeah, because he matter of fact, well, we took the picture. Cause we didn't have too long in the picture, like everybody was behind it. But I had my Star Striker books with me at that time.
Yeah,
2017, right? 27. I think 2018.
2018. It was
2018 because it was the same year that Avengers Infinity War came out.
It was like a big comic book resurgence, especially Power Ranger resurgence too.
Right.
That's when a lot of Lightning figures was out too.
Well, so I had my Star Trek books with me along with a fan art idea of Star Striker in his style costume, but it had the color scheme of the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
And he he saw that and he really did. He really actually liked that. They took a picture with us, and when we went in the Q&A panel, and so everybody get to ask him a question. When they got to me, the minute I said my name and was about to ask the question, he said, "Star Striker."
He just blurted out Star Striker.
Oh man!
And then he said, they started. What? Tell him about your Star Trek books for a bit.
Now see that show you how cool the dude is.
It would have been nice if you brought the DVDs with you to have an autograph.
If I would have had the chance, he would have autographed all these from these VHSs to the.
I wish I had that with me when
to the figurines. Oh, speaking of that. The Mighty Morphin McDonald's toys that you
yes, when I gave it
the ones you gave me, man.
Yeah, hey, I think I remember I had one of the Power Rangers Happy Meal toys, and it turns out I got the Morpher with 3 of the Power Coins.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You
I
got the
didn't
Morph.
keep it that long. And I think I remember I had a Pink Ranger plastic cup.
You about to morph there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was about to morph, and then Gabe, going back in time, I used to every time he came to this house, I used to go to his room. You got your Power Rangers out?
Oh yes.
And had the toy, and there was this old, it was called the brand, car brand, something called Napa, Napa, and I used to.
I think one of my aunts got that for me there.
And I used to put all the figurines in there, and then I used to try to race them around, and you'd be mad at me, but why you keep on messing with the Power Rangers toys?
Well, we weren't. Yeah, I guess kids.
We was kids at the time.
Yeah, cause I mean, it's all like with me and my cousin growing up, we had each other,
That's it.
That's simply rivalry.
Exactly. Little memory unlocked when I was thinking. I said, "Lord, wait a minute, the McDonald's toy, one of the best."
Yeah, when I ordered the Happy Meals, I usually go for the fries and drink. I wasn't too fond of the hamburgers because I was a picky eater.
He's picky. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the way the meat looks.
I was more of like when
But I did try a Whopper in middle school and was good.
the nuggets were good. when the chicken nugget, I used to always get the chicken nuggets. I had never gotten the burger, but it was a great time.
I should, if I did think as a kid, I would have ordered the chicken nuggets to see what it tastes like. But my mom just ordered the Happy Meals for me.
Yeah, that's when the Happy Meals were actually
Yeah,
happy. It was better times.
Yeah, with all the physical toys and stuff.
They had some like Transformers in
Within the toys and for the boys you always had Hot Wheels, and for the girls you had Disney
Barbies.
Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Barbies.
Oh yeah. It was just in that day and time it was hard to not have fun at McDonald's. It was truly like when you went to McDonald's you had fun. You had the playground, you had toys. It was colorful.
McDonald's was basically for the kids, in my opinion, because
that's where the money was at.
And they also had play places too.
And you think of it, and another reason I say for the kids, because I mean, you even go there now. I mean, think like a lot of their food, like even the stuff that's supposed to be for the adults.
Yeah,
it's still it's on compared to like Burger King and all that. It's almost on the small side.
It is.
So it's almost like they were more so made for the kids and adults.
Exactly, and then that's where all the money was, because it was especially with '90s and Disney, Power Rangers, X-Men, so many big brands at the time.
Exactly.
So and then whatever brand McDonald's didn't get, Burger King got. But that in Power Rangers, going back to Jason David Frank, it's one of those big brands, and probably one of the last play places I saw.
I think he was in the McDonald's commercial for those toys.
He was in White Ranger.
Hey, you gonna finish those fries?
Exactly.
I recognize that voice too.
You hear the voice, and then you like, that's him. That's him. Jason David Frank was so identifiable with the Power Rangers. You could say, yeah, he got typecast as that role, but by that point, he's like, I'll embrace it.
He did, and if y'all look up, because I'm pretty sure they're still up, but they're like past videos of him, like he even got one the morpher he used for the dragons for the Green Ranger. He explained that you see this was actually the same color, still the morpher. So what they did, they painted it a different color, and like when we would be shooting. The coin, we had a problem where the coins would always come out. So what they did, they put a little Velcro in it.
Yeah.
And it's morphin' time. Yeah. It didn't pop out or nothing.
Oh man, and he's one of those, and that's why I miss him so much myself. He was one of those actors who, once he was given the role, he took it to the highest of heights that he could take it. He lived it. He breathed it. He was a true martial artist, true mixed martial arts fighter.
Oh yes.
He was a fellow brother in Christ. Praise God. He went to church, so
he did.
He was a believer. And of course, it's just sad, how his demise was. And
he was going. It was like Robin Williams. He was going through some stuff.
Similar to Robin Williams, and us '90s kids, '90s babies.
And it's ironic.
Yeah,
I hope he found his peace.
I really do hope he found his peace, because like him and Robin Williams, I don't think they really know how much they truly did impact
the young generation.
Our childhood. Like, this is gonna be so corny and cheesy, and I'm gonna land my plane here. When y'all watch the end of this movie, the Mighty Morphin movie, the Van Halen scene, Like when the fireworks going off and Dan
Oh,
Hale
with the little kid.
we were the little kid, and you hear the music playing. Some people say it's a cheesy ending. I say I love the cheesiness and the corniness of it. It showed a brighter future.
Exactly. It was simpler times.
Simpler times, and you see him looking into the sky. You see the fireworks going off, and he said, "Yeah." And,
I miss his excitement
I miss the
Oh, yeah.
the
and his
enthusiasm.
joy of life.
Exactly.
Especially when he was talking to everybody about different stuff he had coming at the con.
And it's a shame that it was taken away from him.
He,
Like the joy has died of what he's been through.
Exactly.
Like his joy died.
yeah, and it's
Yeah. But that's one reason why he say, some treat people nice because you might actually save somebody.
you might say something.
Because somebody could be going through something and just you talking to them like Timon and Pumbaa and Lion King. They didn't even they were heroes and didn't even know it. So Simba ain't no telling what he was going to do about his dad.
Exactly.
But they say, hey, kid was eating you.
Yeah.
He's like, Hakuna Matata.
Exactly.
No worries.
No worries. And you look at anybody, of course, anybody that's had a tough childhood or even had a good childhood but went through a lot of negative or stressful things. Power Rangers and particularly actor Jason David Frank, Tommy, got us through a lot of hard times. Sometimes in order to block your mind out of the negative,
Right.
you act like you were Tommy. It's morphin' time, Dragon Zord or White Tiger
Just to
Zord.
get away from it.
Yeah. Eagle Zord, and you turn on that character. Zero Ranger 5 Red, Shift to Turbo, or go into the Dino Thunder realm. You kind of you imitate and you look and see how this guy is so strong on the screen, leading or mentoring.
Right.
So
And I think Gabe mentioned Jay Frank as playing all the Power Rangers, like being in the Power Rangers series in general, it's like his coping mechanism to
Right.
what he's going through in reality.
right.
Probably. Yeah.
Like trying to get away from it all the negativity.
Trying to get away from it, and so he's using the character.
As
That it's like it's almost
Like a coping mechanism.
God saying it was more than just congratulations, you were casted the role. It was like, no, your calling is really to be this character and bring them to life because you're gonna help other people.
Exactly.
So
Yep. But as I say, you just never know. But like I say, nothing but respect for the man.
I'm very respectful.
Yeah. I guess the last thing, kind of brief there. Our thoughts on what do you think is going to come for his daughter Jenna? That people have been hinting at for Future Ranger.
Not too familiar with Jenna, but if anything, she keeps the legacy going. Similar to how the last Power Rangers movie that was on Netflix, where they had got an actress to keep Trini's legacy. If that's what the route is to go to have his daughter carry on the legacy, there will never be another Tommy. There'll be another Jason David Frank, but keep that same intention.
Right, and
the
kind of
same
have her
goal.
own little.
Have her own genre, her own role in the series. If now who owns it now? Hasbro. Hasbro owns the Power Rangers brand.
Right.
Because it was Saban, the Disney,
Then now
then the Neo Saban era. So now, so it's that's what I say. I just say, hey, keep the agenda going that her father had established.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah, like I say, and as I always say, whenever I go to a movie, make it good.
make it good. Make it good. Don't worry about no agenda. Just have a good, strong,
I just want to see a good story.
a good story. Have a
Yeah.
good story, and everything will fall in place.
Yep. Yep. Like I say, that's pretty much like I say, quite a bit. I call him the King of Power Rangers there.
Yeah.
The undisputed king of Power Rangers. Let's be real. He's the undisputed king. No one else can fill that spot.
Even though he's no longer on this earth physically, but his legend still lives on towards his daughter as well as fans alike in general. His legacy still lives on.
Exactly.
Like once you pass, you still remain a legend.
Just like the Black Panther now.
Like Black Panther. Like so many legends from the Michael Jacksons, the Prince, Whitney Houston's, so many just big iconic stars, the Robin Williams of the world. Just so many. Jason David Frank is in his own realm of a legacy that even though he, like you say, he's not walking this earth, but people never forget him.
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, they'll be. I think that's gonna be just like you said, Mike. That legends like this are gonna be talked about still coming along because people like us gonna be telling our kids.
Exactly. And then as that time goes on, people. That's a whole nother generation, whole nother fan base that's learning about Jason David Frank.
Yeah, I can imagine somebody painting a mural of the White Ranger with angel wings.
I've seen pictures of that.
Yes.
That would strike a chord there because his thing about the White Ranger, his original suit was the White Tiger, but then in the Mighty Morphin movie it became the Eagle. That's already symbolic within itself. Just have the wings of an eagle and ascending. So that
like a little combo there.
Like a combo, and then plus the ninja suits was smooth. So.
Yep, but yeah, that legacy is definitely gonna live on there.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. So, I guess y'all wanted to say before we wrap it up there.
Like you mentioned, like treat people nice, but also love one another too.
Yeah.
And nobody doesn't doesn't deserve to suffer in this world.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Yeah.
We don't deserve to suffer, and that's why Jesus died so we don't have to suffer once we get to heaven. We don't have to suffer anymore.
Right. There'll be eternal peace there.
Yeah. He died for us.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yep. So at least that's something to kind of I mean, I know we miss him here, but at least we know God's taking good care of him up there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Him as well as others that have passed, and even loved ones that we have that are up there.
Yeah, like my grandmother, like she died in 2020.
Yeah, my grandmother and my uncle. So.
And luckily my grandfather is still alive.
Oh yeah.
He's in his 90s.
That's a blessing then.
Yes.
Be in the 90s.
And still happy.
And in my case, Angela Pierre there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. So if anything, what we could gather from just from this conversation alone is continue to be positive, live the life that Jesus Christ wants us to live, and stay strong, keep the faith, and just soldier on. Just like Jason David Frank all those years soldiered on, no matter what color he had, whether green, white, red, or black.
And he even when he didn't have
He didn't have a color.
Power, like when he fought Goldar in that one scene.
Yep.
He was unmorphed, and I mean he just owned Goldar.
And just hey, to this day, he will forever be the undisputed Power Ranger.
Yeah, and you see somebody who has gone through something like depression or something that's really bothered him, it's better to like talk to them.
Yeah,
just talk to
you might could save their life.
Exactly. And most importantly, what is perfect.
You could approach them to talk to you, or you want to say, I need somebody to talk to. I don't want to be alone anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I need someone to talk to.
Just that talk can save them.
Yeah.
Just that talk.
If only somebody would talk to Jason David Frank out of the situation he went through.
Yeah, but most importantly, the best title that he's ever gotten,
Yeah.
and it comfort me, was Child of God. And
so we know where he's at there.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Well, with all that said there, definitely, y'all take that there, and again, make sure y'all definitely like, share, subscribe. Y'all be alerted for more content. Not only this channel, but even
the one EJS. Change the name, so it's the one EJS.
Yes, we're gonna not only here, but we're gonna be doing some stuff on his channel too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, stay tuned. I got a lot of content in the works.
Yeah, matter of fact, check out what he put up recently with that what you're talking about with your movie experience.
Oh yes, so yeah, movie experience. So my first time on the movie set on TikTok, and then some of my latest skits on YouTube. So I'll be putting out skits on YouTube and TikTok, and then have more discussions on TikTok. But I got a lot of things just in the works on every platform I'm on.
Oh yeah, and then he also has a few things he does with the library on their YouTube channel.
Yes, indeed. And actually, stay tuned because boy King Gabe, he will be in one of the future skits for the library.
So try to get signed up for that there.
Yeah. So you got 2 movie stars right here. Now we just wait for Christina to join us. You have 3 movie stars here at this table.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's all the stars.
All the stars, like the star on the red right. See, whoop, there it is. Star on the Red Ranger helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely subscribe to both of the channels. So y'all be on the lookout for what we put out.
Yep.
We're gonna be putting some stuff out there.
That's it. That's it.
And also, definitely buy the available books. Yeah, we still, and don't worry, Star Striker. What's up? Yumiko 3 with Star Striker Supreme. It's still coming out. Like I say, just be patient for Big Sis Casey on the pictures. So, but we coming. But the available books we have, definitely support us on that Patreon.
Oh yeah.
That could, help some brothers and sisters out.
And don't forget, I still have Bubbling of the comic series that are still on sale for $7 an issue.
Yep, that's part of the books there.
Yes.
She's gonna be reading some more of them later.
Yes.
That's it.
And also, Patreon, just like EJ the Supreme, we support one another.
Hey, that's it.
Big Sis Casey and Iceman Universe. And also, definitely hang out with us on Discord and Facebook. Even if you're not a Patreon pledger, you can still hang out with us there, chat and everything. Help you feel you're feeling a little down. Help, hey, what's going? Everything all right? Talk, just have a little chat. And sell each other some stuff on that Carry app there.
That's it. Just a little talk.
And without further ado, we are the three of us are signing out. Guess I think Zordon gonna be calling us, so we gotta teleport this command center.
Yes.
Time.
Yeah. Pizza Hut Rangers.
Pizza Hut Rangers.
Bye, everyone, or sayonara.
Peace out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, getting just the. It's almost like I'm doing a paranormal activity video, except without the ghosts. Yeah, there you go. We will not have stuff flying across this video. Oh my God, what's that? Mega! Yeah. Oh no, you do it where you at.
Okay. Okay, I see you.
Hey, hi.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. And we know EJ's gonna be fine here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me. Yeah. Since it's only 3, I can do that. Yeah. Okay. Kind of like that, maybe. Yeah, that way his head won't get cut off.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, look, amigo. Be a good little behind the scene, like they do bloopers in the show.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Marker. Hello? Hey. Oh, okay. Okay, we got it set up and everything. Okay. Alright. Okay, so just heard from the EJ Supreme. He's coming. He's on his way, running the lake, but because he just got word. He at the last minute he thought of some souvenirs.
Oh.
So he's bringing. Yeah, so we're gonna find out what those are. Tell 'em
Yes. Too bad we don't have that. Too bad we don't have the actual
Effects for that,
the actual effect or the
Because we
telecommunicator.
would do like do, and then we just fly out.
Yeah, that's part of the Patreon support. Maybe we can get some little higher budget to get that.
And if y'all want a higher budget, that mean that we have our own Power Ranger team episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hey.
So yeah, get on that Patreon. Show us some love.
So
Yes.
we're gonna shift on out of here.
And we'll see y'all in the next videos.
Bye everyone. Power out.
Power out.
Oh yeah.